Hello guys, TV Bloke here, back with another video. And as you can see, you caught me just in the preparations of pimping up my BYD Atto 3 a little bit. Got my little van there with his Christmas tree on. So I'm just in the early stages of doing all of this. It's a bit bling, isn't it? So we'll have to sort all that out. Yeah, I'll put all the description. I'll put where I got all these little things in the description actually, so you can see them, guys. But yeah, no, that's only partially of what I wanted to really talk. Because last week I went to take this car for a service. Why is that all like that? Sorry, I just moved this around a bit. Yeah, I took this car for a service last week. So I got to chatting with the guys down there a little bit. And they're a dealership, so you're not going to get phenomenal insights into everything that's going on, of course. But yeah, I just tried to see if I could find out a little bit more about certain things and that kind of thing. So I've written down some points here that I found out. I found out some of the cars that's coming out next year from BYD here in the UK. But I asked them a couple of things about the thermal management of the car and why we're still getting this like heat exchange, and cooling and heating. He didn't have much of an answer to that, except to just say to keep it on auto. If you keep it on auto, it doesn't do that. Well, that's just not true. Like I said to him, I said, well, that doesn't really seem to mean anything. To keep it in auto doesn't seem to reflect upon heat or cooling of the cabin. It just doesn't make any difference at all. It's just basically an automatic setting to get it to a certain temperature. But when the car scavenges heat out into the battery pack, like it's going to start doing now in winter, it gets cooler in here, and in the summer it's the vice versa. So that's what definitely happens with this car, no doubt about that. And so yeah, I wanted to mention a bit about that. But so yeah, never got so far down the road on that. They don't appear to be doing any more software updates than the ones we currently get. They just do them as and when. They tend to do them when there's a few things to do, and that's when you get your software updates. But as I reminded him, a lot of automakers now are releasing fairly regular software updates, and I still think there's a lot of things need improving on here. The mapping system is still not intuitive. I don't know if you've come across that, guys, with that last update. The maps it doesn't route you to chargers. It comes up there. Yes, it does route you to a charger, but it's got no way of intelligently getting you in at a certain percentage or knowing what percentage you're going to arrive at or any of that stuff. It's just there. It just comes up based off the mileage and the size of the battery pack. It's not geared on anything with regards to how long and all that kind of stuff. It just isn't intuitive enough, So that's something that I definitely noticed with it. And so it doesn't appear like we will be getting more updates, or certainly not in the foreseeable future anyway. So what we're getting at the moment is pretty much how it's going to be. So that's a bit poor in one regard. Now, on cars that's coming out next year, in the first quarter, there's going to be the BYD Seagull, which is a very small, a pretty small car. It's a little tiny one. I should put some pictures up on the video of the cars that's coming out for you to have a look at. It's going to be quite a cheap, small town runaround, really, which is interesting. We need more cars like that, I feel. I'd like to see us just move away totally from these big SUVs, to be quite frank. But anyway, so that's coming out next year. Also, the BYD C-Line. Now, that's an interesting one because it's a full-size SUV. I've seen a few videos on it. It looks as if it's quite a good car, but it's going to be pretty pricey. I think it's going to be obviously a next step up from the Atto 3 for sure. So it's a full-size SUV. That's coming out next year, and that will be... I don't know about pricing yet, but that will come out probably in the second quarter of next year is what I believe. And then in the third or fourth quarter next year, there will be coming out the BYD Atto 2, which is an interesting car. I'll again put some pictures up in the video here for you to see. And essentially, that is a car which I think is kind of do pretty well. It's a little bit of a downsize to this one. You've still got a decent ride height, but it's a little bit more town appropriate, really. But it looks like a good. I haven't got no specs on any of these cars. I just know that they're all planned for arrival in the UK next year, as I say, with those. So there's going to be something coming out every few months next year from BYD, new products. We've obviously got the BYD Seal U here already, the BYD Seal, and this BYD Atto 3, and of course the Dolphins. We've already got those products here. So that'll be another addition to all of that. So it's quite interesting to see what their strategy is going to be and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with all that. So I'm really interested about next year for the new products. But like I say, I didn't get a lot of feedback in terms of the questions I had for them. The route planning, I said to them, look, it routes. Why doesn't it route to chargers intelligently? And they didn't have an answer for that. So, dealership problems really. But it looked quiet up there. I mean, I know it's December. It's hardly a time for buying. It's not a most popular month for buying new vehicles or leasing new vehicles or whatever, because people have other financial restraints going out in other directions other than buying cars or leasing cars or whatever. But I mean, they just don't look like they've got anything to do up there. So it looks really, I don't know what's going on. The car market seems in a real bad place at the minute, I think, and there's so much uncertainty around with the government pushing the 2030 thing, and companies struggling to reach the targets and everything like that, and then putting all these tariffs and that on certain automakers from bringing stuff here. So there seems to be all of that. I did speak to him a little bit about that, actually, about the tariff side of things and how that's going to affect and he said it will affect it, but they're not expecting it to affect it as much as you might think. So that'd be interesting to see. I would think if they're going to do that, they'd have to make a loss, if anything. But yeah, so we'll see how those new products come out next year, what they're going to be like. That'd be interesting to see. On the channel wise, I've got coming up a trip to like a Christmas road trip, so that's coming up. And I also want to do a video regarding the winter type of driving in the car, what's happening with that, and I will have my year review of the car, which needs to be done, and I should be doing that before the end of the year as well. So there's a few things coming up. I want to do a few more live streams, so I shall keep you posted about those when I go live and stuff like that. It'd be interesting to hear your points and stuff like that. But yes, there's things coming up on the channel, and we're going to keep it rolling here. And as I say, more other electric cars always, but more different makes of cars will be coming to the channel in the new year. That's my next sort of like this year's just been about bedding in, seeing where the channel can go. It's grown reasonable by YouTube standards, is the feedback I've had. And so we'll go to the next level now and see where we can take the channel with regards to looking at all things EV. So I'm hoping to get on a few more. I'm just setting up my own plan now, business plan for, approaching all the different auto makers and dealerships and things like that to get on the press releases for the cars, so that I can then obviously, be invited along, hopefully, to a lot of these events, and then give you a lot more coverage that way, guys. Because, the BYD Atto 3 is what it is. I've got 40 plus videos on the car now. So yeah, it'd be nice to sort of have a bit of variety and look at different things. And we'll still be taking this around, and you'll still have loads of videos about this car, but we just need other content to give it a different slant, really. So I just wanted to go over those things, really. So like I say, not much to really tell you about some of the things that we probably all like to see happening with the car with regards to the software side, really, improvements on that, and we'll hope for more software updates. Doesn't appear like they're going to be doing very many software updates over and above what we already get. In fact, the guy seemed to think he looked at me a bit sideways as if to say, why would you want more software updates? Well, because things need improving on the vehicle. And with software updates, you should be able to have a long list of things really that you could really do with improvements. So I don't see there's anything wrong with that. You can even do software updates for efficiency. I've seen that before. There's ways in which they can manage the battery management system to get more efficiency out of the car and things like that. So there's software update over lots of stuff if you've got the team behind you, which you would expect BYD to have because they're a big company. So don't see any problem with that. But anyway, that's the feedback I had. So I won't ramble on now then. So let's just leave you with where I'm at on the old Christmas decoration-y thing. This little fella here, this little truck with a Christmas tree on the back, I do quite like him, really. I saw that and I just thought I've got to pick that up. In the description, I'll put down where I got these things, if you like. I don't get anything out of it or anything, but in case you want to buy them yourselves, I'll leave you the links to get them. And then it's just chucking a load of tinsel on, really. I've got my little cup here, which I got from the cafe. Look at that. That's quite good. And but yeah, so that's where it all is. So anyway, I hope you have a good Christmas. If I don't speak to you before, which I probably will do, because I've got a couple of things planned, and don't drink and eat too much, all that stuff, and don't drink and drive. Definitely don't do that. But have a good time, and as I say, for the EV Bloke channel next year, we won't be going off topic as such because we'll still be on EVs. But as I always had a plan to one day move a little bit away from the from say Nick here, the Atto 3, into other BYD products. Hopefully, I should definitely be able to get all of those new cars. My relationship with them is such that I should be able to get hold of all of those cars to review. So that's not a problem. And then plus, of course, any others. I've got a lot of dealerships around by me, so if I can get on good specs with them, hopefully I'll be able to review some of the exciting Renault cars coming out, like the Renault 5, the sporty one there. The Renault Scenic is already out. I'd like to give that a go. Maybe the Megane even. Megane is actually one of my favourite cars for design. I think it's a beautiful car, the Renault Megane. But it's not meant to be the most efficient, and it's a little bit small inside, but we'll give that one a run out, and we'll do a review on that. I've done the EV30 last week. It's growing steadily in numbers of people watching that, so thank you for watching that. And that's it. In the description, guys, there is a link to buy me a coffee. If you can stretch towards that, I'd really, really appreciate it. I'm not pushing it, but I do want to start getting some more cameras and stuff, and start expanding on some of the stuff we've got here to do better angles, especially once I start doing proper car reviews. I'll need to have an all-round 360 camera angle type of thing set up, really, with tripods and a couple of cameras, really, so you can get all-round shots of what I'm doing, because it's a bit amateurish now. I keep walking around with just my phone video and stuff. That's fine when you start out, but I need to start progressing on that one. But anyway, I'm rambling now, really, effectively. So I'll catch you on the next one, guys, and have a nice rest of your day and evening and whatever time you see this video it comes to you. And I'll catch up with you soon.